Another CEO Wisdom Pod AI edition with Nikolaj Van Omme. He is Funartech CEO, Montreal, Canada, my native Montreal. He's from Belgium originally, but has spent a lot of time in Montreal, hasn't gone back in Belgium in 6 years. Spent some time at the Polytechnique, Montreal, did a PhD there, very deep into AI, and apparently it's a new methodology at seeing how ML will evolve. So I'm quite keen to get into the details. Nick, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a bit more about what you're building there.
Yes. So first of all, thank you for hosting me. And we are indeed doing AI a little bit differently in the sense that, one, we're using the prescriptive approach and we do it in a certain way. Two, we are experts in combining several fields, and among them, in particular, ML, machine learning, and operations research. Those two are really very important for us because we're using them all the time, but it's more inclusive than that. The idea is that you have several toolboxes. I mean, AI is big. It's not only ML, it's ML, OR, CT, whatever. And the idea is that when you see all those toolboxes, you're better equipped to solve complex problems. So you can pick up your tools. But the fact is that it's not easy to do, especially that probably, and this is what we're doing, you need to change a little bit, to tweak a little bit the way you do ML, the way you do OR, so that they better work together.
Right. And who are your clients? Is this company AI as a service kind of?
So I'm not hearing you.
Test 1, 2. Am I back?
Yes. No, yes, you're back.
Is your company doing AI as a service?
So we have been pivoting quite a lot, I think 6 or 7 times. The idea from the beginning was to create products. So this is something we didn't do at the beginning. So we were a service company. Now we are working towards being a product company. What we do for the moment, we have very big companies in the top 500 that are our customers, and we co-construct solutions with them. The idea is that we co-construct some products together. So we are getting there. We're also doing lots of research.
In percentage, how much? Because I've seen Element.ai with Joshua, and they sold out, I think, to ServiceNow, which is like this humongous company. Was it successful? Was it like some kind of forced exits because the parties did not have their interest at heart? I'm not sure. Maybe we can discuss about that. But yeah, it was certainly a fascinating case study to me. Were they doing a good amount of research as well? Probably like 20%-ish. Is that a good number?
Oh, I'm losing you again. I don't know if it's me or you.
My mic is moving.
You're back. Yeah, I'm sorry. But to answer your question, I think they did more than that, in the sense that probably, but of course, I don't know, because I never worked at Element.ai. What we do is research all the time, because every project is different and needs a new way of solving it. And so we do research all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised that Element.ai was also doing something similar. That said, they were also doing fundamental research, and probably they were doing it a lot. What people say most of the time is that they were really good in research, not that good in practical solutions. We are geared towards practical solutions because this is our main activity, and we really, really want solutions that can be used in productions. This is our main goal. We don't care too much about research. We do research all the time, but this is because we're inventing something new. We are not doing research for the research. We're doing research to get better results.
Right. And what kind of clients do you work with?
So, for instance, our latest customer is the asyn group, so Toyota. And we're working with the group in Japan, so the mother group. And we worked on 2 projects with them. They're really quite happy. If you want, you can see the testimonial. They did 2 testimonials because we did 2 projects with them. But just to tell you a little bit of what we do and how we collaborate. So they had a huge logistic problem that was really difficult to solve. And actually, they couldn't solve it. So it's a delivery problem, if you want, where they have those automotive parts that they need to deliver from place to place and assemble, reassemble, things like that. And the problem is that, one, the amount of goods they are delivering every day is huge, astronomous. And two, it's not a simple delivery. So there are some constraints, not easy. And the combination of both made that problem very difficult. So they created a contest. There were more than 800 AI companies that participated. We won the contest. And then we started to work on their problem. They gave us a simplified version because they believed that it was impossible to solve. We said, no, we can solve that simplified version, but with that solution, you will not be able to do anything. As I said, we really, really want to help our customers in practice. We want to help them in production, in reality. And so we told them, why not try the real problem? Okay, it's very difficult. Let's try. And so we tried, and we were lucky in the sense that we managed after a few months to find a solution and actually to reduce their cost by 30%. This is huge. One of the reasons is because we could tackle the whole problem at once.
The model of signing up clients and using their funds to fund your own research is smart, bootstrap, quote unquote. I must guess that you must have funds from or Canadian or generous Canadian government. But what do you think about raising? No, zero?
I'm sorry, but no, unfortunately, we don't have access to that money in the sense, yes, really, because when we started, so to get those funds exist and there are lots of possibilities, but to get access to those funds, you need to go through some scientific committees.
Right.
But the thing is, they did not understand what we were doing. So they refused us. So, I mean, I have an example. We tried to get some MyTax funds. MyTax is accepting 95% of the projects. So actually, it's very difficult to be rejected. Yeah, we got rejected, despite the fact that we were working with Professor Michel Gendreau, which is one of the biggest professors in OR in the world. We got rejected. And the reason was that we didn't do science because they didn't understand what we did. So basically, we still don't have access to that money because we're doing something different. It's changing, but for the moment, we don't have investors and we don't rely on that money. So we have the money of our customers.
I'll plug you with a grant consultant. You should get accepted after we're done. Yeah, my own companies got accepted to meet tax 7 years ago. And believe it or not, we produced nootropics, supplements for the brain, you know, and that's not rocket science.
I have to say that since then, we were accepted by MyTax, I think 7 or 8 times.
Okay,
but
got it.
MyTax, yes, accepts us. Other don't. Or it's a very lengthy process. It takes 2-3 years to get accepted, which is
the grants really, consultants. I know they take like a percentage of the grants. It's like win-win. So I'll plug you with them. What do you think about OpenAI and raising a bunch of money and using their users as data / nodes creator for the advancement of their own research and the move that they made to be a nonprofit to a for-profit company?
Wow, that's a tricky question. Maybe you can be more precise. What can I say? I mean, not very much. I mean, they changed completely what they were basically known for. I can say probably that business-wise, it's a very smart move. Other than that, I don't know. They're doing generative AI, which is cool, but I don't think that generative AI is really what we're looking for. I don't think that people, society, companies in general are really looking for it. I mean, you can do crazy things and incredible things with generative AI. But basically, we are into prescriptive AI. And this is what people are looking for. So
well, let me add some meat around the bone here. So like their goal is AGI, right? A lot of people estimate that AGI will be a thing in 5 to 10 years from now. And you might want to tell us your opinion on that one. But the goal is, it's the same. And to reach that goal quicker, they thought that going private and for profit would help them do so. So it's not necessarily for profits. I do believe them on their rhetoric that they do that for the good of the world, and that was why they did that move. So do you have similar goals on your side about about AI? Do you believe that your approach can lead to AGI? Because prescriptive is like, oh, you have this problem, here's a solution. It's not a general intelligence that will understand pretty much everything and formulate and have a good solution for everything, right? So yeah, there's like 7 questions in one, but yeah, try to start wherever you're comfortable with.
Well, hopefully OpenAI is really doing things for the best. But at the same time, I would like to say that in AI, people are not asking much questions. I mean, we're just going full speed without thinking too much about what will happen or what is already happening, because AI is a wonderful tool, but at the same time, it can be used and is used to do bad things. That's one. My company is very small, but we have very ambitious goals, and probably one of them might be true intelligence. So we believe that the combination of ML and OR can lead to true intelligence. And once you have true intelligence, why not AGI? I don't see any reason why, if you have something that is truly intelligent, it wouldn't go to AGI. It's not our goal per se, but let's say that developing what we do is probably leading to that true intelligence. And specifically what we're trying to do is a new way of solving problems. So there is a new way to solve analytically problems, in the sense that you're able to go to, you push the envelope a little bit further. Instead of having parameters, happy parameters that you are optimizing, what is called learning, but it's not really learning. The next step, the next natural step would be actually to learn the algorithms. So instead of having a model or an algorithm, you would have something that is morphing all the time. So you would have algorithms that are changing, and they're changing in real time. This is what we're looking for, because you get better results for our customers, and it also, as a side effect, leads to true intelligence.
Can you define OR? It's like the first time I hear it's thrown around as much. Why are you so bullish on that approach?
So OR, operations research, a really bad name. I mean, marketing-wise, it's awful, but it's a very important field. It's a field that exists since, let's say, the Second World War, and it's really a way to optimize mathematically problems. So one of the problems, the first problems people in OR solved was how many submarines do you need to destroy boats? Because if you have too many submarines, they are killing each other. And if there aren't many, then they are very vulnerable. Okay, so that's more or less the start. At the same time, you can say that other problems before were also part of OR. But let's say that OR exists since the Second World War. It's one of the science of optimization. Actually, I would argue it's the best science of optimization. It's applied math to solve problems. And machine learning is coming from OR, in the sense that 10, 15 years ago, everybody agreed that ML was a subfield of OR. And the relation between the two is that ML is using OR algorithms to optimize the predictions. So for instance, gradient descent that is used in the deep learning approach is actually an OR algorithm. And so for me, OR is really important because of its efficiency.
Right. And if you have these ambitions, again, like to me, it seems that to crack AGI, you need as much data as possible. Plus, you need an algorithm that learns off that. Why do you think your thesis to focusing on specific problems, experience in business will eventually lead to this AGI?
So first of all, we need data, but not that much. So the mantra, data is the new oil, for me, it's complete bullshit. If I give you some data and I'm not telling you anything about it, you cannot do anything with it. So you need also some knowledge. And actually, what is really nice with ML and OR is that you can combine the insight from the data with ML with the knowledge of people, of a community, of a domain, of a company. And because you are able to model that mathematically with OR. So you combine both. You combine the knowledge of a field, of a company, of people, and expertise, with the insights of data. We did some projects without data. So we had some sensors, and then suddenly they stopped working. How do you do AI without data? Well, it's possible. The other thing is also that in ML, you need data, but data, huge amount of data, and data of very good quality. Again, this is probably not what you get access to when you try to solve a problem. Most of the time, you don't have that much data, and it's not of very good quality. Anyway, we're not looking to go to AGI because we don't care about that. What we do care is to solve problems. And what we also do care is that actually that combination of ML and OR could help us, and when I say us, I'm talking about humanity, could help us optimize, lower our pollution. So what we do is basically optimize by 20, 40%, which means that if you use that kind of optimization with the biggest polluters, and the biggest polluters, they're not using that optimization, you can also lower the pollution by 20 to 40%. And that's in a few years. I mean, it's not easy, it's a lot of work, but I mean, if the whole humanity would take that and do that, probably we could at least lower by 20%. Not saying it's the solution, it's not, but maybe it's something that people should look after.
So your point is very valid, which is that you don't need AGI to solve everything. Do you believe that there could be such an AGI in 5 to 10 years that would have a simple answer to pretty much all the world's problem?
I don't think there's a very simple answer to anything, AGI or not. As a human being, we are quite limited. I mean, it's very difficult to understand that there might be a very simple solution. Maybe this is the case. I don't know. Can AI help us? Probably yes. Can we understand the solution? Not sure. But yes, it can help. And this is why most of the people are doing AI, because they believe that after a while, it will help us. But the thing is, it can help us, but it can also do bad things, even destroy us. I mean, I'm really, I would say, surprised that most of the AI experts don't see the dangers, because those dangers are real. Not now, but in a certain future. And to answer your question, when will AGI come? I have no clue. I don't know. We have a way, or we think we have a way to go to true intelligence. But the thing is, it's not happening overnight. It will take some time. Of course, more money, more people doing that will accelerate the whole thing. But the way we see a way to true intelligence is something that is very slow. After a certain point, it will accelerate. But it's not going to happen overnight or even in a few years. And nobody is doing this as far as I know. So I don't know. And the other approach, I've never seen any approach that really could lead to true intelligence. So I don't know. Some people say it's even not possible. I do believe it's possible. When? I don't know.
Super interesting question. Do you consider yourself to be a general artificial intelligence?
I consider myself to be a problem solver. And I like to help my customers and see them smile. I don't know if that's a good answer, but basically I'm trying
because
day
my
after day.
thesis is that, like,
Yes.
let's say we go in various areas and we learn in various areas, at some point we can start to cross correlate, and that to me is true intelligence. And obviously we can learn new areas and magically fill the spot, you know, magically, is it a synonym with quantic, whatever, growing neurons basically, and that's where the magic happens. Anyway, my next question is, like, with the prescriptive AI that you are developing in the same branch of things with an AI that would do evil, is your point that there wouldn't be an AGI Terminator style Skynet killing us all in a second, but mostly an AI built by Ethereus, for example, that could arm us on a massive scale on the short term? Is that like your thesis vs the whole Skynet thing?
There are so many possibilities. I mean, even if we are not looking to do something bad, we could be missing something very important and then, oops, too late. Of course, some people are using AI with bad intention. Those exist and those are real. And AI is already used to do bad things. So it's not a question of if, it's already the case. I mean, people are using AI to discriminate, AI to kill, I mean, literally. I mean, I don't understand why you have some experts or people working in AI and they don't know that AI is already used to kill, literally. And then you also can do good things and completely miss the point. Because one problem, if I may say, with AI, it's that it can go very quickly. You just press on a button and then it goes away. I mean, you don't have control. And that's also one of the reasons why we use OR and ML, by the way, because in ML, it's extremely difficult to control things. With OR, you're able to control because you have constraints, and those constraints can be hard or soft, but you can really impose them. But even if you create some constraints, doesn't mean that an intelligent AI would not be able to bypass them.
But if it escapes and goes rogue and start reproducing, would that fall under the definition of AGI at this point?
Well, AGI probably could do that. I mean, it's difficult to quantify or to really grasp what it is, because the thing is, we never saw something that was more clever than us, but there is no reason to believe that actually we can create something that is not only better than us, but way better than us. I mean, we can think about the concept, but we cannot really understand it. I mean, we create machines that are really stronger than us. That's okay. But we can create machines that are really way more intelligent than us. But what does it mean exactly? We have no clue.
They
So
reach their goal
basically,
quicker, I would guess, you know?
not only quicker, I mean, probably they can think differently
Set
and
different goals altogether.
set different goals, manipulate you, because we're really easily
Oh
manipulable.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we're very susceptible and yeah, it's easily manipulable. Even smart folks, you know, you just have to go into like areas of lesser control. I want to ask you, because we have like 4 minutes left here. How does one inject emotions into an AI, and how could that be part of the AGI picture?
So many teams do that. The idea is to be able to make the relationship between the machines and the humans more emotional. I mean, as humans, we are quite emotional. So if you have to interact with machines, it's probably easier to have machines that are also emotional up to a point. So that's the idea. Many teams do that, especially with an ML approach. We have our own approach that combines, of course, ML and OR. And one of the nicest thing I think with that combination is that actually you can control the emotion, in the sense that you can fix some barriers so that your robot agent is not becoming rogue. This is something that is extremely difficult to do in ML, but with OR it is possible. So this is why we are trying to combine ML OR and try to inject emotions in the relationship, in the interactions between the humans and the robots, in such a way that we can control that emotion.
Interesting. Last question. You've talked about the AI's use case to help the environment. How would you deploy a beta to solve the forest wildfire crisis, quote unquote, that we're living in Quebec and other parts of Canada and US?
That's a very good question. So we never worked on that problem, so I'm not able to say much, but for sure there are some solutions in OR, there are some solutions in ML. And again, I'm convinced that the combination of both is better. So yes, if you use some analytics, you probably will have some solutions. Are they really good? I don't know. Will they avoid some dramas? No. Can they lower the negative aspect of it? Yes. So some solutions are already in use, especially here in Canada, because we have a very broad OR community. So they're using OR a lot in the forestry and in problems of fire. But I don't know what to say, because we never try to work on that. But for sure, there are some solutions out there.
Satellite images. I have a guest on the podcast that is doing that, and then the real complex question, once you've imaged a thing, it's the sort of problem that you need more prevention than fixing, right? Because once the fire burns, it's very hard to interrupt it. So it's like I just thought of something. My brain didn't have a solution in the past, but it would be this gigantic or floating balloons kind of covering a whole area so that the sun cannot shine on it once you know that temperatures are reaching a record high. So you have the satellite images, and it's pointing that these places are very much hotter than the others, and they're driers, and for that reasons they are 75% susceptible to a fire over the next couple of days. And then you'd have this gigantic floating balloon a la Google Bloom, if you want, that would cover the susceptible area. What do you think?
Well, you need practical solutions. I'm not sure this one is practical. I mean,
yeah,
but for sure, I mean, you need to try to prevent
or create gigantic clouds.
Yeah, or corridors between the forests so that you can stop the fire because there is nothing more to burn, things like that. But it's always a trade-off.
Yeah, it's just hard when it's like very tall trees, you know? So it's, and with the winds, it's almost like impossible at this point. So I think it's mostly prevention, but I'm asking you tricky questions here. It's been a cool chat, Nick. Where can people find out more about you and your company?
Well, maybe first and foremost on our website. So it's www.funarttech. So it's fun, art, and then tech, but there is only one T, .com. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm quite present on LinkedIn, so it's easy to find me, and I'm always open to discuss and whatever. I mean, if you have questions, don't hesitate.